Everyone, subscribe to Mechanical Design Hub. Today we are just going to know how to make 2D drafting. You can see that I have just made Solidworks this model, and I have just draft it into the SolidWorks DWG format. In this format here you can see that I have just make 2D from these 3D. I have shown you how to make 3D to in 2D in SolidWorks in with all its dimensions, and then how to export it to this AutoCAD file. You can see that here I have just export it to AutoCAD file. Here you can see that, and how to make it okay for the printout for industrial use. You can see that different parts in different sections. In this video we have just give you the tutorial lessons for all these parts, so don't skip this video, watch till end. Thank you. Hello everyone, today we'll learn how to make 2D drafting from SolidWorks to AutoCAD. So at first, to make the 2D drafting you have to made some of 3D models in SolidWorks, then make it to 2D in SolidWorks, then it export to the AutoCAD. So don't skip the video and watch till end. So let's go. So here we have seen that here one 3D model of a vehicle we have just made, and we are just make the 2D drafting from this. So at first go to the file option, then go for the make drawing from this assembly. Just click here and go for the drawing and make it okay. Here they have told me to choose the sheet format. Here you have many sheet format, that is a sheet format, landscape, portrait, and now we have go for the A2. This is the A2 sheet format and A2 landscape. Just click here A2 landscape and just click it OK. And when you have just make it okay, you have just seen that the landscape model has been come. Okay, here we have to just refresh it. Here is the assembly have been shown here, and if this is not come here, then go for here to refresh. Okay, here at first I have go for the front view, just drag it here, and you have seen that here is one the front view model. Then you have just go for, if you go for the top view, bottom view, left view, isometric view, many views. Now I have gone for the top view. Here if you just drag it to top view, that automatically here one line has been come, that is plan elevation model, and automatic the same dimension has been done here. Then if you go for here, that is the right view I think, and if you go for the right view, this is the right view. Okay, and just click here, and when you have just right view, I want to give it a one isometric view, and the view isometric view will be like that. This is the current view actually. I want to give it the current view here, and you can see that I have just give it the current view. And if you want to as you have just make it 2D, don't give it the color, just give it the lines. And here now we have to just edit all the things. So at first just click the blue box surrounded to it, then go for the left portion. You have seen that here the display style, here are some of the display styles here. I have just choose this and you have just choose this, then you can see that here are some hidden lines that are become active, and here are more hidden lines that are become active, that make it too much congested. And other, this is the plain view, and this is the solid 3D view. Okay, you can see that this is the 3D view, and I am just go for the this view. Okay, here there are the now one option has come, that is the scale. And this is, you can see that this is the sheet scale. If you change you want to change this scale, you can change here all that. I have just give it 1:24 scale. Okay, that fit to the scale sheet, that is the A2 landscape sheet, and I've just give it the 1:24. You have to remind that is scale factor, because in AutoCAD you have to put it. Okay, now if you go for this option, there is also the same options here. Okay, then just click here, and you have just go for here, and that the same options are here. Okay, now you have to just for drafting, you have to just place all the views. Now you have to just make some dimensions here. For the dimensions, here are some annotations, that is called the smart dimension. With the help of smart dimension, you can just give the dimensions particularly which place you want some of the dimensions. So I think I should give the dimensions here, that click here on the dimension scale and just give it here. And if you want to change the unit system, then go for the IPS. This is the change unit system, you go for the millimeter, and that is 780 millimeter. Okay, that is the millimeter. Here are some of the extended dimensions. I will go for the smart dimensions only. Then you have just give it this height. I will show how to give dimensions automatically, so please wait, don't skip this video anymore. I have just give it this dimension, then I have just go for this dimension also, just go for the smart dimensions and these dimensions also. Okay, if you want to give some other dimensions, just go for these, just click here and click here, just click here and click here. You can see the all the dimensions here. If you just give it another dimensions, just click here and click here. You can see that all the dimensions here. Okay, now if you want to give all the dimensions automatically, then what you have to do, then go for the model items. For the model items, select this model and just click it. Model items inserted, choose yes to input function. Okay, it may be hang, please wait. You can see that automatically all the dimensions have come. You have just made it drag all the dimensions. Okay, automatically all the dimensions have come. Just drag all the dimensions here. I'm dragging all the dimensions. Here are many dimensions. So you have just understood that if you want to give the dimensions automatically, then select go for the model items, select this drawing and click here OK. I am not want to give all the dimensions here, so I have just made it free. Okay, then just click here and click it OK. You automatically all the dimensions have been come here. So here are the dimensions. I want to edit, I don't want to all the dimensions, so I just undo it, so automatically all the dimensions will be vanished. Please wait. Okay, that's nice. Now we have just covered the dimension part. Now if you give some of the balloons here, that is the two type of balloons. What is auto balloon and another is balloon. So for the auto balloon, just click here and automatically you can see that all the balloons have come. Okay, here are the all parts. There are the total 26 parts that balloon automatically. Okay, but if you want to give balloons individually, just click here the balloon and select this and drag it here. When you have just click it, you can see that automatically some of the numbers have come. Then you, if you choose one balloon and go for here, that is more properties, and if you go under this, you have just you can just edit this also, where you can edit this. Okay, please wait. Here you can edit this 12 this font size and other portions. Okay, just click it OK, and if you just click it OK, now if you double click here, here are the item numbers have been generated automatically. As you have at first make one balloon automatically, you can have the item numbers. You can edit all the item numbers from here. Item number text. Okay, you have just change it to 10. Then you can see that you can change this item number. If you go here, select this item number and change it to text. If you make it 11, automatically this balloon number has been changed. In this way you can just add some of the balloons automatically and individually all the balloons. Okay, so here you have just understood how to make balloons and just make some of the drafting, and I'm just make delete, otherwise it's okay, just make it delete these two balloons. Okay, here. Okay, now you have, if you want some of the tables here, you can just add some of the tables here. If you go for the tables, that will be column 2 2 and row 2 2. If you just make it 4 row to 4 column and click here, one table has been formed here. Okay, you can just drag it to here. With this table we can just make some of BOMs. If you go here, double click here, you can write here some, if you write here some thing that is description, you just go for here, that is the part number, and here you have just make it weight. In this way you can just make a table where you can make some of the BOMs. Okay, so if you make here, then go for the A note here are the annotation note. Here you can mix, you can give some of the headings here, that is BOM details. You can just change its font dimensions and other things from here. Okay, now you have just almost done with SolidWorks. Don't skip, because now I am just exported to the AutoCAD. Okay, now when you have just made it here, just go for the save command and just save it here. I save it here, that is the draft 1 name, and make it save it in DWG. Just make it in DWG format, because in AutoCAD we can only open in DWG format. Okay, now this is the DWG format, and save it. And it takes some time to save, please wait. When you have just save it, okay, it is, you can see that automatically in draft portion one DWG file have been saved, so you need not to open this part. Okay, now I have just make it discard. Okay, when you have just make it discard, then you have just go for that DWG part. Okay, and open it with AutoCAD. It takes some time to open in AutoCAD. Don't skip this video if you want to learn how to make 2D from SolidWorks to AutoCAD with all drafting and annotations. Here you can continue with this DWG file. You can see that here this part has been come here. Okay, you can see that here the part has been come here. You can just make it the grid mode on, then you can just make it grid mode on, then you can change this scale portion. You have already know that in the SolidWorks 2D we have just give it 1 to 24 scale factor, then you have to just change it with 1:24. Okay, so if you don't have this, then customs and go change it. Now in AutoCAD we have just, you can see that all the dimensions, these balloons, these tables have come here. We now in AutoCAD we have to edit some of them. Then if you at first you have to give some dimensions in AutoCAD, then if you go for dimensions, just go for their annotation part, there is the dimension toolbar, then click here and the dimension style manager has been come, then go for the new, make it new style, just go for continue. In this part you have to give some of that parts, that you can see that automatic the scale factor has been come with 24, that is I made the drawing in 1:24 the scale factor in scale factor, so the scale factor automatically gives 24. If you give 24, then the accurate dimensions has been come here. Then here you can just go for the primary units. Okay, these all are the primary units and these the alternative units. And if you go for the text, here you can just make just go for the text, and if you may increase the height of the text, then you can see that the dimensions has been the text dimension has been bigger. In primary unit we have just make it 1 decimal, that you can see that all these things. And in the symbol and arrow portion you can see that there are some arrow sizes, and there are the arc line symbol. If you make along dimension text, this came in here, this has came. Okay, for the text you have just make it along dimension line, then you can see that all the dimensions will become along the line. Okay, this is good for viewing purpose. And if you go for the standard ISO standard, or if everything is okay, now click here. Okay, and if you just go for the line and just give the dimension some of color, then go for the color and give some dimension color in is green. Okay, and text, for the text you have just make the color, I think the best color will be green. Okay, then both of them green, this yellow, that is okay. Okay, now select this new style and set as current, just close it. Then go for the dimensions. If you give some of the dimensions here also, if you give these length dimensions, that will be here, that will be 675. You can see that according to these the dimension is okay. If you give some of other dimensions, just select this part and this part, you can see that I have just give it dimensions here. And if you want to give some other dimensions, that is also one dimension. And if you go here give some dimensions, that will be right here. If you just give the along line dimensions, aligned dimensions, that is the option of aligned dimensions, just click here and click here, these will be the aligned dimensions. Okay, you can give that aligned dimensions here. Okay, now I have just covered how to give dimensions here. You can go for these properties. Okay, now if you want to give some of them lines, okay, in different color, you can think that I will give this line blue color, this line green color. How can you make that? Just go for here, that is the home. Here you can see the layer properties. Okay, in layer properties you have just see that 3 types of layer has been done. You can add some on that is the layer 1. Okay, in layer 1 you can just change its color to blue. Okay, then just line type make it this hidden, maybe that hidden, that is okay. Okay, then if you make it and just make it this color on and lock, then it comes to here. You have just changed it. Now you can see that here one layer has been come. 1 minute, that there will be layer 1. Okay, and just it here you can see that some of the layers has been come. 1 minute, where are the more colors? Properties, here are some of the blocks by layer, line weight, and you can just change this layer also. Just select this and just give some of the color here. You can change its color. Okay, you will just change its color. In this way you can just change its color. And if you change here the layer, then you have just here the layer portion has been come. If you just make this line blue, select this line and just make it layer 1. Okay, and you can see that the color has been changed. Just select these and go for layer 1. You can see that the color has been changed. That is the minor color actually. Lock. If you just click here and just give this color, it maybe some of disturbances, that is okay. Now if you want to change the color, then you can go for here and give its color here. Okay, and if you go for the layer property, you can see that here are some of the turn on, turn on layer, keep current layer turn on. If you just select this and just make it this, you can see that the color has been updated. You can see that color has been updated. In this way you can use this layer property, and this is the color property, and I have just seen you how to change all the dimensions and its color and its type. Okay, now what you have to learn for the drafting purpose, you can make some of the text here, that is here. Go for the text, single line text, and click here. Okay, 1 minute. Oh, that's the text size is very big. Okay, that's why there is a problem. If you just escape, if you just here go for the standard, here are some of the standards here, and go for the text, and here the text size is big. If you just edit the text size, just click here and just select this and just repeat text, edit. Oh, that's it's okay. In this way you can just add the text here. Okay, in other video I will show how to change the text. Okay, you can add some of the text here. Here are the dimensions shortcut, and you can add these dimensions here. Okay, then if you just give some title here, you can add some text title here. At this moment the text size became very big, so I cannot give this. These may be the annotations, and this is the style. Okay, here is the text style, here is the text style. Here I can just edit this text style. Okay, that is, select this and set is current, and if you just close, if I add some text, single text, I want to see that this height. Okay, you can see that here some edit. Here are the options to edit the text style. Here at first go for the, this is the font name with factor, all the styles, and if you go for the new style one, I have just make it new style. Then here I have just width factor, is 1. I have just think that here the uh, unit system, I need to change the unit system. In I will go for the unit, then going for the unit system, then just make it millimeter. Okay, in millimeter I have again try for text. Here I've just give its dimension height long. Okay, then you can see that this is the bobcat assembly. Okay, I've just give it the bobcats assembly. You have just rotate, you can just rotate it, rotate. Let's select this object and enter, specify base point, and if you just want to rotate it, just make it this. And you can see that here we can write some of these things, and if you just write some of these things here, just click here. Here the specify the height, I just give it height 2 millimeter. Okay, a rotation angle this. Then you can see that the digits became small. If you go again for the, I just make it escape, go for the single line, just click here, and I give this front height is 20 millimeter, and the rotation is here. And you can see that here are I can this is the I can here write some assembly of bobcat. Okay, you can in this way you can see that we can just make some of text here also. Now I have just add some of the add the dimensions. Here are some of the balloons here, and you can just give some descriptions here. One type of this part number, you can just go for the single line, don't go for here. If you just add here some there are the tables. Okay, if you go for here, just you have also here some of the tables, go for the table, that is okay. That is the columns and row, 5 columns, and row settings, column width, row, you have to just increase this row and click here. Okay, you can see that we have we can make some also some tables here also. I just place the table beside this. Okay, that is okay. The line type of the table has been become automatically the hidden type, and I can just change its layer type. Okay, oh, as I have just made is use it current, so it become automatically current. Okay, it's automatically current. If you go for erase, isolate, and as I made that current, so automatically this became hidden line and current. So if you just select it and go for standard Oh, there are the standard option became these. Okay, I think. Okay. Here you can see that one table. If you write something here, just write it BOM details. Okay. Here you can just leave it part now. We have used this table in another section, so don't skip this video. And here you can see that the description, this you can see that here I have write weight. Okay, just accept it. I have just give it 1 2 3. One is the give some descriptions, random descriptions here, that I have just give it 1, give it 2. Okay, this in description, that is the arm. In description, that is the bottom arm, sorry, bottom arm. And weight, you have just key 2 kg, 1 kg. Okay, I just give random figures, nothing serious. And you can see that here one thing that I give the dimensions. I have this table that I have made in Solidworks. This that is the table that I made in Autocad. If you give some of the center line, you can give some center line also. Just for the center line, select this center line, select this object and this object. You can see here one center line. Okay, and you have just told that this center line is very small, then just drag it to here. Okay, if you just drag it here, you can add also center line here. In this way you can give center line here, center mark also here, or I can give the center mark. Here are no circles, so I can't give the center mark here. So in this way you have just I've just covered the basic things: dimensions, table, center mark, center line, some of the text dimensions. These also required for 2D drafting. Then now how can you print this to a layout? So this is the model portion. Okay, now you have to just print it to the PDF. So for the layout view you have to make some of the title block. So now I have to show how to make title block here. So at first go for this layout option. In layout you can see automatic it has came. So in this way you have to just select this, just escape and select this part. Okay, have to just select this part and make it erase. Okay, here you have to just go for the layout. This is the first layout, and here I have made some A2 sheet type template here. So if you not make that template, I will show how to make one template here. So here some of the many options. So at first you have to go for the page setup manager. Okay, from template, and you have just go for the page setup manager. In page setup manager you can make the page here. Okay, go for the page setup manager. This is the layout one, and I am just going to modify it. Just go for the modify. You can see that in Solidworks I give it A2 size. So here at first you have to just change it DWG to PDF, then go for the A2 sheet format. You have to just choose A2, that is the A2 landscape sheet format, and the scale factor is 1:1, and that is okay, and close. You can see that this is the A1 A2 sheet format landscape. Okay, here you have to just place all the drawings here. So here you have to just give the sheet format. You have just give the sheet format of A2. Now just go for the layout again, and from template, here I have just made some of templates here, that is here some of AutoCAD layout. Here I have made one template here. I am just open it to here. Okay, from template, generating, okay, opposite corner. Now if I've just made one template here, that is A2. If you just don't want to make this template, just I'm just make this template delete. Okay, I'm just go for the A2 layout. Okay, okay, now I have just understand here. In this way you have just make layout. Okay, this way I'm just select this, make it delete. In this way I have just told you how to make one template, and I have just already made one template. uh, Here you can see that is the one template. I have just A2 sheet format template. You can see that here, not here. I've just make that template here, A2 layout, that is open here. When I click, that is open here. I have to just make how to make template here again. So at first go for here, go for the page setup, go for layout, that is the layout 2, go for modify, then go for change it to the DWG to PDF, then select the sheet format. I have just select the sheet format to A2. Then this should be the landscape, and this 1:1, and click here OK and close. You can see that here is the template, but here you have to generate some of the nameplate here, that you have seen that in here I have just make that nameplate space. You can just make it here like that. How? Go for the home, and if you go for the rectangle, just click here one corner, and just click here the another corner. You can generate this rectangle. This became automatically closed, and just make it default. Okay, if you go for here, just select another rectangle here. You can see that is another rectangle. Okay, in this way I have just made this sheet format. Okay, this is the A2 sheet format. Now I have just show you how to import model. Here are some of the models here, model, table. I have just import all of things here to this sheet format. Okay, now in this sheet format we can write some of things here, that is here go for the annotation, go for the single line here. You can give this part name. Okay, I'm just give it 20 millimeter height, and this is the length. Okay, I've just give it that assembly. Okay, again I have just give it height, maybe 10 millimeter I should give. Okay, that assembly. You can see that here, if you just drag it. Okay, this you have to just give it some of the names here. This is the assembly. Here you can write not to scale. it's 5 millimeter, not to scale, SCL scale. You can give some things, that is the part num, assembly, not to scale. Here are some date type. I am just not filling here, you can fill it after making this nameplate. You can fill everything. Now I have to show how to import this model to this sheet. Okay, how? Just for that you have to go for the layout option. In layout you can see some of the objects, rectangle object, many things. So you have to just make some of the rectangles and objects here. Okay, please wait. So if you just make some objects here, okay, so for the object you have just go for this home. I have just make one rectangle here, that is the one rectangle. Okay, I've just make some this type of rectangle here. I have just make some of circle here. I will show how to import all the drawings in this part. Okay, don't skip. I will give one rectangle also here. Okay, now you have just make it, then go for the layout option and select this object. Just select this object, you can see that the drawings has been imported. Again go for the object, select this, drawing has been imported. Again for this, click here, object, sorry, this has been imported. For the this part, select this on time, select this and go for the object. This has been imported. Okay, so this, in this way you can just import these model drawings to here. But now I will show how to place all the drawings in different part. Okay, so at first you have to just zoom it. Okay, how can you zoom it? Now you have just out from this specific layouts, you have just whole layout. Okay, to get into this particular layout you have to just double click on it. When you have just double click on it, you can see that you can just scroll it here. So at first you think that you have to just make this center. Okay, just zoom it. When you have just zoom it, I've just end this grid option. Okay, when you have just did it, you can just zoom it. When you have just zoom it, you can see this all the parts here. Okay, so you have just zoom it here, then double click in outside, you have just out from it, then you have just double click here, you can just go into it. You have just go for this top view part. Okay, or you have, if you want to show this table here, that is also happen. You can see that here is the table and you are just want to show this table. Okay, this can be done. Or you have want to show this two part here, just zoom it. Okay, zoom it, you can see that you can show this two part here. Okay, for then go outside, go inside, in this part you want to show this part only. You can see that this part. For here I end the grid mode. Go into this, I end the grid mode. Go into this, I end this grid mode also. Here I have just show what thing here. I have to show this BOM or this part in Google, round format. Okay. Now if you have question how to place it rightly, okay, now I will show how to. Okay, so for the four layouts you have each of these should have equal or this should have uh, scale factor. If you just double click in it, you just go into this layout. Here you can just zoom it with it. As soon as you zoom, you can see that this scale factor has been changed. You can see that. Okay, see, you can see that. Okay, now what you have to do, just zoom it and set this scale factor. You can see that here you just see it with all its balloons. Some of balloons has been cut, so if you just make it here, you can see that one except this balloon, all balloons has been done. When you have just made it right, 100% right, then lock it. If you lock it, then you cannot change it. You have seen that. Okay, that I have just tick it, it is okay. For this part, how can you just go double click on it, you just get into this. Okay, now that you can see that. Now if you zoom automatically, so if you zoom automatically, just click here, just click here zoom. Okay, zoom and select this part. Again you can see this zoom, and for this zoom it became automatically this scale factor. Okay, it became automatically this scale factor. You can change all the scale factor like that. If you made it 1:100, you can see that that became very small. ठीक है, if you increase this scale factor 1:10, if you made it 1:1, for 1:1 it became okay, because this is the A2 sheet. Okay, and in A2 sheet I have just made the drawing is 1:24, so that it became very big. Okay, you can just see that I have just zoom it rightly, everything is okay. Okay, if you just select this, 1 minute, escape, select zoom and just zoom this part, that became placed in center, and just lock it. If you lock it, that you can see that it placed rightly here. For this part also, double click on it, zoom out. Okay, for zoom out you have just go zoom and just select this part, and you can see that it placed rightly. If you just increase its scale factor, you have to increase scale factor, that became big. If you make scale factor that became less, 1:1, that is okay. Okay, so you can see that here I've just placed both these two rightly. Okay, now just get out of this, and if you get into this and just make it lock, when you have just lock, you can't change other things. Okay, Now if you want to just make it small, how can you can see that lot of space has been given here. So just select it and drag it here, select it, drag it here. Okay, if you just on this ortho mode, what is the ortho mode, what is the ortho mode, that is the ortho mode, that became automatically. Okay, I think ortho mode is on. Oh, why this became uh okay, this is okay. And fast, for the first time I have just make it some of the turn, so it became some of things. Okay, that is not factor. So you can just change its dimensions from this. Okay, you can just change its dimensions from it, just select this, and if you just make it small or big, that became big. Okay, in this way just you have just import all the drawings from SolidWorks to AutoCAD, make some edits here. I have just show you how to edit here. You can also add some things like balloons, dimensions, many things. I'm just give some of the things here. Then if you just assemble it as an industrial way, you have to just make it like that. You can place all type of drawings, one part, two part in one frame and in A2 sheet. This is actually A2 sheet. Okay, just give, I'm just giving this actually A2 sheet format. Okay, you can just edit here the not to scale, assemble, section view, the drawing date, order now, client now, and everything. In this way you can just make it. If you just want to save it, nothing serious, just go for here, uh, save as, escape, go for save as dwg format, go for here and just make it okay. For in this way you can just edit it, place it here. Okay, for the to make it PDF, to export it, you can just make it here. To export it to the PDF or how to print, in another video I will show how to make print, otherwise this video became very longer. So in this way you can just export from AutoCAD SolidWorks to AutoCAD and then place it like here. Please subscribe our channel, leave a comment how useful it to you. So thank you all and thank you so much.